Hey y'all, it's me again, Valerie, and welcome back to my yarn room. Yay! Okay, uh, I'm pretty full of myself today. Y'all like this picture? I do. This is what I'm going to teach today, or, well, like I've said in previous videos, attempt to teach today. Yeah, I have a tendency to mess up. So, before you start the project, you might want to watch the full video, because I might make corrections during the video. Okay? Alright, this is cotton yarn that I got from Michaels. It is a Loops and Thread Michaels brand cotton yarn. And I don't have the yarn, but I saved the label. Make sure this is the right cotton. Yeah. Okay, and this is the same color that I'm using right here. This is what the label looks like. Okay? It is Cream Cotton by Loops and Threads. Okay? And here's the... well, the stats on it say that it's 87% cotton and 13% nylon. So it's not 100% cotton. It is so squishy soft. Love this cotton. But it does break real easy. It is not a spun, like twisted rope style. It's not. It's chain spun. So it's like the layers are woven like in a braid. That's what chain spun means. Okay? And it is 324 yards. I'm not going to give the rest, so, yeah. This color is Dusty Mint. And it is a number 4. Okay. So, y'all ready to get started? I am. You can use whatever hook size you actually want. Okay. This says that it calls for a 6mm, which is a US, J10. Well, that's odd. No, that's the knitting needles. Oh gosh, see, I told you. This says to use a 6.5 millimeter, which is a K10.5. Okay, I'm not using that. I'm using my favorite, which is my Susan Bates J10. And I put the rubber bands on it because I have a hard time gripping the small hooks like this. So I put this on it, and I can hold on to it a whole lot better, and I don't like overstress my hand. Okay, I'm having a problem with my pinky on my dominant hand going numb. Don't understand that one, but okay. Alright, so this pattern, it is a granny square. Okay? A friend of mine sent me a picture of a tunic top. A tank top. But it was tunic style tank top. And asked me, well, she said that she was tired of the download patterns and wanted a actual written pattern. But I can't actually, for copyright purposes, do that. But I figured the pattern out, and this is the pattern. I'm just going to let her know that instead of 6 rows, the pattern can be worked bigger, as big as you need it, and then sewn together. It's 4 panels for the top, but we're not doing that. We're making a blanket. Yeah, but I'm using this pattern. Okay, this is how I'm going to do my pattern. I have 4 different colors. Okay, that's about the best I can get it in there. Before I start a project, I write it down. I have notebooks all over my yarn room with designs and notes and jotted down patterns and all kinds of stuff. So this is my pattern. I have 4 different colors of this yarn plus a white, which means I'm going to do 4 different colors, and I'm going to put it all together with white. I have green, which is the dusty green. I have blue, which is, I believe on the label it says that it is country blue. And I have not sewn in any of my ends, so don't discriminate. And I have this color, which I don't know what this color is. Now, on the thing, I labeled it as pink, but it's more of a coral. A very beautiful color. Okay, and I have this color, which I don't remember what the label said this color was, but I'm labeling it as lavender. Okay. Now, I already made a tank top in these colors, but I wanted to use up my scraps. So I'm making a little throw. And this is my diagram of my colors, my color chart. I started down here, and I said, okay, I've got 5 of each square, and I've only got 4 colors, so that makes 20. Okay, I can work with that. That's an even number. So I made my diagram 4 squares across and 5 squares down. And I evened it out and boxed them all in. Well, I started down here, and I just used my top color, and I just said, okay, that's going to be green. And then I knew I wanted it like in a diagonal line. So my next color, or my next 2 squares right here, I did a B for blue. And then my next 3, I did an L for lavender. And next 4, P for purple. And then I went back to the green and did 4 for the green, which took up all the green because I only got 5 of each square. Okay, then I went to the blue and did 3 blue, and with them 2 down here, that makes 5. And I got 2 lavender here, and with those 3, that makes 5. And I got 1 purple here, or pink here. Gosh. And with those 4, that makes 5. So it equaled out. Okay, so that this video is not too drastically long, we need to get started. Okay, I'm using my Dusty Mint, I think. It's the only square that I have left to make. I have made all the rest of my squares. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a slip knot. And I do my slip knot like this. I hold my my tail facing me. My working yarn facing away from me. I put my 2 fingers down here come around, open my fingers up, grab my working yarn, and pull it through. And see, I have a shorter tail. Haha, I can do it. Alright, now, I'm going to tighten this down, but not too loose. Because I want this throw to be light and airy and fluffy. And yeah, so I'm going to stitch very loosely. Okay, now the way I like to do it is when I'm doing the granny and I'm doing double crochet clusters. I like to do one chain per cluster that I'm going to start with. Because like, okay, for a hexagon, you start with 6 clusters. So I chain 6. Well, with this, you're doing 4 clusters. So rule of thumb for me is chain 4. But like I said, I'm doing it loosely because I want it to be light and airy. So, see, that's what I mean about loose, because you can see through my stitches. Okay, then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go in that bump on the back, because I love the bump on the back. It just, for me, it makes neater work. Pull a loop through and then pull it through to form a ring. Simple enough, right? This is not hard. This is very simple. If you've watched my previous videos, you know every single one of these stitches. Okay, so, like I've said, I don't like the chain 3 for a double crochet, but I also said with a granny, that's pretty much the only way it works. So, we're going to chain 3. And then, we're going to come back down here into this circle. We're going to grab our yarn and pull it through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, let me get my yarn out of the way. It's cotton, so, and it's fuzzy, fluffy cotton, so it's wanting to stick to itself. Okay, now we're going to do another one. Oh, it's hard to look through the camera and do this. Okay. Now, we have that chain 3 and 2 double crochets, which the chain 3 in a granny acts as a double crochet. And we're working over our tail so that we ain't really got to work it in later. We can just snip it. Okay, so now we're on a corner. So we're going to chain 2. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over. I put my finger right here because it tends to slip if you don't. Go down here in the circle. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. Go through 2. Yarn over. Go through 2. Okay. We're going to do it again. My yarn's wanting to stick to itself. Do it again. Because we need 3 for this cluster. Okay, so we got our 3. So now we're going to chain 2, excuse me, to make our next corner. And sometimes, this is a good one, sometimes when you're working over your tail, it spins on your circle. I have no problems picking it up, pulling it back through. It's okay because your yarn is working over it, so if it spins, it ain't no big deal. You ain't got to pull it out because, well, it spun on you. It's fine. Just pull it back through. I do it all the time. Okay, we're going to do another cluster. It is really hard to do this looking through the camera and not just looking at the work. I will get used to it, I guess, eventually. Oh, sorry, hit my camera. I'm trying to hurry because I don't want this to be a 45-minute video. Okay, we got our other 3. So now we chain 2 for the corner. Because the reason why I chain 2 is because you can chain 1. I want mine, like I said, to be light and airy and fluffy and just squishy. So I don't want it to be tight in the corners when I come back around and put 2 clusters in the corner. So I chain 2. I've seen where people don't chain at all. And I don't like it. But, hey, it ain't my work. It's your work. If you want to not chain in the corner, by all means, don't chain in the corner. Okay, so now we're going to do another cluster. See what I mean about that tail? I'm just going to pull it back up and pull it right on around. No biggie. I'm going to do another double crochet. Okay, we got our 3 there. So, now, what do? Do we slip stitch? No. We got to make that other corner. Our last corner. So, we have to chain 2. Or however many you're going to do. Okay, then we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Now, when I do that, I don't just grab one piece of the yarn at the top of that chain 3. I grab 2. Because it's less likely to pull and have a big circle hole gap if you do 2. I did say less likely. Well, pull up a loop and pull it through, and then we're gonna pull it through. Okay, so with this pattern, after we do a solid granny square row, then we're gonna do a row around of chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Okay? So, our double crochets are going to be on our first double crochet and our last double crochet of this round. But, we got our corners. So, in our corners, I'll get to that. We're just going to do it this way, okay? I'll just show you. To start out, we're going to chain 3. But wait a minute. This isn't a solid granny. So, that chain 3 is a double crochet. Well, how are we going to skip over and put a double crochet in this last double crochet? Because we're going to chain 4. Okay. Hopefully you follow it. Hopefully everybody's following this pretty good. I'm hoping that I'm a good teacher. Okay, we're going to yarn over and put our finger on it to hold it. And we're going to go in the top of that stitch right there. The last double crochet of that cluster. And we're going to put a double crochet. So we've got our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. We skipped that one in the middle. Okay, so here at the corner, what we need to do is we got to chain 1, yarn over, and do a double crochet right there. Okay, and then that's the corner. So we chain 2. And then we put another double crochet in that corner. Okay, now it looks kind of funny right now. Then we're going to chain 1. Okay. Then we're going to put a double crochet in that first double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and put a double crochet in that last double crochet. So we're going to double crochet here, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet. Following me? Okay, now we're back at another corner. So we got to chain 1. We're going to put a double crochet. We're at the corner, so we chain 2. And we're going to put another double crochet. Then we got to chain 1. Because we're working a different stitch. And by chaining that 1, after you put that double crochet in that last double crochet right there, by chaining that 1, you're working your increase before you put that double crochet in that corner. Okay, that's how you're working your increase on this row. Trust me, it works. Because on the next row in the corners, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. That's how you work your increase on those corners. Because the next row is a solid granny. Okay, so we're going to put our double crochet in the first double crochet. Alright, then we're going to chain 1. I got to pull out more yarn. Sorry. I'm hitting stuff. Okay, so we put our double crochet right there in that first one, and we chained 1. So now we're going to yarn over, we're going to skip that middle one, and we're going to go into that last one. And we're going to work a double crochet. Then we got to chain 1. After your double crochet, you chain 1 every single time on this row, except for the corners where you're going to chain 2. And see how it's working out? Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so we chained our 1. Now we're going to put a double crochet and a chain 2 and a double crochet in the corner. And we're going to chain 1. Because, like I said, unless you're working a corner, after each double crochet, you chain 1. Okay. So, and I need to explain. This right here, each one of these corners, all it really is a V-stitch. Yeah, a V-stitch with a chain 2. Some people do a V-stitch with a chain 1. That's all it is. And on the next row, when we, in the corners, do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all that is a double V-stitch. That's it. So, what I've been showing you has basically only been stitches and patterns from the basic stitches that I've already taught. Okay, so we need to go into that, what I used to call the secret stitch. Do not forget that. That is a secret stitch right there. That's your first stitch. So we're going to go into the top of that one. Put a double crochet, chain 1. Can't stress that enough. You don't get that open pattern if you don't chain one. Okay, so now we're going to go, we're going to skip that one. We're going to go over here into this next one, and we're going to do a double crochet. And chain one. Okay, we're back at our corner. So, we're going to work our V-stitch in the corner. Sorry. Had something, well, my tail was sticking up. Okay, so we're going to double crochet, chain two, put my finger there to hold it so it don't spin around on me. And another double crochet, and we're going to chain one. Can't stress that enough. Okay, so now here, we did a chain 4. Because remember, the chain 3 is the double crochet, and then the chain 1 is the space in between the 2 double crochets. So, sometimes I'll count it from here and go 1, 2, 3. Go into that one. Okay? Sometimes I will go, okay, that's my double crochet, that's my chain 1, so I go into that one. And you've already chained 1, so go in and get 2 of the loops of that. See, I got 2. Pull your loop through and pull your loop through. Okay, that is row 2. Yeah, it looks a little bit wonky right now, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Alright, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Sorry about that. The joys of having COPD. Anyway, so now we are going to do a row of solid. Okay, which is very easy. Very easy. We're going to start out with a chain of 3. Okay, this is very important kind of instruction, I guess you would say. On the rows that you do solid, which is every other row, you chain 3 to start the row. On the rows where that you have the holes where your chain 1, skip 1, you chain 4. Very easy to remember. Okay, so we chained our 3, and that acts as a double crochet right there at the top of that chain 3, which acts as a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to hold your yarn, because if it twists on you, it's going to be harder to work your stitches on your next row. So, right there in that hole, beside, well, good gracious, beside of the chain 3, we're going to work a double crochet. Okay, so there's 2. Now we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into the top of that double crochet and work a double crochet. And then we're going to yarn over, and in this hole right here, we're going to work a double crochet. And then we're going to yarn over, and right here in this double crochet, and the top of it, we're going to work a double crochet. Okay, now we're back at a corner. So what did I say that we're going to do in the corners? Yep, we're going to do what we call a double V-stitch, which is so simple. You already know the stitches if you've watched my previous videos. We're going to work 2 double crochets. Sorry, y'all. Gotta pull out more yarn. I'm at the bottom of the skein. And this yarn is like real fluffy. And it tends to want to stick to itself. Okay, so we worked our 2 double crochets. We're gonna chain 2. And we're gonna work 2 double crochets. All in that same space. See? And that's how we do our increase for this row. The 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corner of this row, that's our increase. Just like with the row we just did, how we did our double crochet at the top of this double crochet, chain 1, and then in the corner work a double crochet, chain 2, a double crochet, and then chain 1 and double crochet at the top of this one, chain 1, skip 1. Okay, this is how we work our increases for each one of these rows. Okay, so I will meet you back at this corner. Keep doing the exact same thing. In every single stitch, work a double crochet, and in each corner, put 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And like I said, I'll meet you back right here. Okay, see you in a minute. Keep working. Okay, I'm back again. And I have, like I said, made it all the way around to my last corner before I finish it up. Okay, now, right now would be a really good time if you don't do this already, which when I'm doing something like this, I'm constantly counting in my head. Okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. Okay, so if you don't do that, now would be a good time before you start the next row to count your stitches. Because you might have missed one. I've done it I don't know how many times making these squares, missed one, and had to pull it out a couple of rows and start over. Because if you missed one, your count's going to be off. It ain't going to line up right. You should have, get my yarn out the way, in this hole,